Hello, everybody. I'm Cody, webmaster of Zelda Universe, and we have a guest here today, Scott Chernoff, also known as Ganon from The Legend of Neil.
Hello, or should I say hello?
Okay, well, first off, how did you get involved in The Legend of Neil? Like, did you audition for the role, or were you recommended? How did that all happen?
I did not audition. I actually Sandeep, the creator of the show, called me one day. He had seen me in another show on the internet called Wastelander. And Wastelander was a show, kind of like a Road Warrior kind of show, and it was on a comedy show like Legend of Neil on a site called channel101.com. And Sandeep had done a couple things for Channel 101, and I had done a bunch of stuff on there. And he saw Wastelander, where I played a bad guy named Lord Humunculus. And he liked Lord Humunculus and called me and asked if I would be interested in playing Ganon.
Okay, so did you have, like, previous experience with the Legend of Zelda series where were you already a fan of Zelda, or was it just a case of getting a job as an actor?
Well, I have to admit it was more a case of getting a job. I was a big Super Mario Brothers player back in the day, but I wasn't a big Zelda player. I wasn't necessarily against it, but I wasn't a particular fan. So this show really opened my eyes to the world of Zelda and Zelda fandom.
Okay, so when you record, are your lines mostly scripted, or is there a lot of improvisation?
Good question. Well, I would say that it's about 75% scripted. Well, I mean, the entire thing is scripted, and we work off a script, and we do the scenes as written, and then as we go, the more we shoot, we play with them and improvise and develop new stuff out of it. And especially with Eric Acosto, who plays Wizrobe, the two of us together, a lot of the riffing that we do back and forth is improvised in the moment. Some of the great lines, really funny lines, are right there in the script that Sandeep and Tony wrote. And then others are us kind of just playing around and having fun. So I'd say what you end up seeing is about 3/4 was written and the rest was improvised.
So your character is really heavily make-upped to make you look like Ganon.
Yes.
So how long does that sort of thing take to set up?
Oh boy. Well, we just finished shooting season 3, so I had a lot of days in this makeup chair, and I think in the morning to get me made into Ganon, it takes up to 2 hours, depending on how fast they're going and how quickly they need to work. So it could be anywhere between an hour and 2 hours. And then also a thing that people forget about is that at the end of the day, it's another hour to 2 hours to take it all off.
Unless you just want to keep the Ganon makeup, go back home on the train.
Right. Go home, say hi to everybody, say hello to my girlfriend. And I usually wanted to get it off right away because it's a really, really fun part to play, but the makeup is not comfortable and very hot. So as soon as I'm able to, I'm in that chair ready for them to help me take it off.
So, like, for most of the series, you've been a shadowy figure, and it's like only recently that you were able to sort of step out and take an active role in, the whole thing. Just, your face showing, actually taking a role in defeating Link.
Yes.
Is that going to cross over to season 3, or are you back onto your throne to manage for most of it?
Well, let me see. I've got to be careful because I can't reveal too much about season 3. But I think it's fair to say that, once we've revealed Ganon's face at the end of season 2, there's really no reason to go back to obscuring that face. And as I just told you, I've spent a lot of time in makeup, so you will be seeing more of Ganon. In fact, I think for me, for Ganon, this upcoming season is really the most fun. There's really a lot of fun stuff that I get to do as Ganon, and you'll see much more of Ganon than you did in the prior seasons. Although, of course, you'll see even more of Neil.
Okay, and I guess you'll see a lot of Wizrobe too?
Wizrobe will be there, yes. And Eric Acosta, who plays him, is really funny. And, most of the fun stuff that I get to do is, Wizrobe is there too. There's some really crazy, different, original stuff coming in the new season that Wizrobe and I get to be involved in. That's really fun.
Yeah, because I guess you're sort of a team. I'm not sure what they call that kind of comedy team where there's like the dominant one and the
the other one being like the sidekick or the straight man. I don't know what they call that team. Just a duo, a comedy team. But it was really fun the way it developed. I had known Eric and worked with Eric before Legend of Neil, so there was already a comfort level there between the two of us, and he's a really great improviser, and so we just really developed this team and this weird dynamic, this weird relationship that Ganon and Wizrobe share down there in the bowels of Hyrule together for eternity. And it's a lot of fun.
So are you currently working on any other big projects, like outside of Legend of Neil? Where would we see you?
Yes, good question. Well, most recently I was working behind the scenes on a show here in the States called The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien, where I made funny videos that Conan would show during his monologue. And that show is off the air now. I'm currently making videos for a website called Adam.com, making funny videos called Smashed. But also, I appeared a lot on The Tonight Show, or occasionally on the Conan O'Brien Show. And I have appeared a handful of times on another TV show that's great called the Sarah Silverman Program on Comedy Central out here. And I've...
Adam.com is part of Comedy Central too, isn't it?
Yes, yes. It's all in the family. Adam.com is part of Comedy Central. And, I've done a lot of different acting things. And there's a movie coming out later this year or next year, I think, called Fred and Vinny, which I have a role in. And if you go to my website, which is just scottchernoff.com, there's a whole bunch of video there of stuff from commercials and TV shows and internet videos that I've worked on, including but not limited to The Legend of Neil.
So just a random question. If you could really be Ganon, like have all of Ganon's powers and stuff, what do you think you would do?
I would blanket the world in fog. More fog.
If I really had Ganon's powers, I mean, gosh, because he is so committed to what he's doing and building this army to destroy, to rule Hyrule and destroy Link, and really, he's so into fog, and I don't know that I share his passions. So if I had Ganon's powers, I would use them for good. I would help cap the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, and I would oh gosh, Cody, I would get myself so much money, it wouldn't be funny. I would use Ganon's powers for money.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good choice.
Thank you.
It's not a good choice. It's not a morally good choice. It's a good choice. Yeah.
No, well, morally, I'd like to help people, but realistically, if I've got Ganon's powers, I'm probably just hanging out at home watching movies all the time.
On your throne with Wizrobe.
On my throne with Wizrobe next to me, and all my Wizrobes and minions with their fog machines, shouting at them, criticizing them, and demanding more fog.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Well, this is meant for YouTube, so it can only go up to like 11 minutes, so we're going to have to end it soon. So, thanks for
only 11 minutes?
Well, that's longer than most of the Legend of Neil episodes, isn't it?
What? Yeah, that's true. It's much more of me than you need. Well, thanks for having me, Cody.
Okay, thanks for being here. We'll see you when Season 3 starts.
Yes, I know it's going to have some kind of screening at Comic-Con in San Diego, and then later this year online on Adam.com.
Okay, so if you're interested in seeing more of Scott, aka Ganon, you can go to his website, link in the description, or you can visit The Legend of Neil, link also in description, to see him as Ganon.
Yeah, thanks for supporting Legend of Neil.
Be sure to subscribe because there are more interviews with Legend of Neilers coming up soon, and you probably won't want to miss it. See you then.